Some of our team. We had visitors from Italy, Belgium, Spain, France,
Australia,
Israel, Australia, New Zealand, United States, and Canada, of course. That's a lot of people coming to visit us every few days. We had to fit the projects in around their arrivals and departures. But it was great. It was just amazing to see all those people wanting to get involved with us. It's a typical truck.
This is low season. When the water is high, it can be really high. You don't
Look at the muck.
During wet season, you gotta go through all this to cross over the river. And
That's
we
how
try
they go to
tiptoe.
school.
We try not to get too dirty.
This, I was walking to check out a medical clinic because they'd asked for solar power. It was so bad. And I thought, I'm gonna go through this. There's just a bunch of bamboo strips sitting on boards. I thought, I'm gonna go right through. Man, those are dangerous.
Trekking, an hour trek, good pace, hiking up and down the hill and get into the forest. That is the water that they drink. Yeah. That is where they get their water from when during dry season, and this is not totally dry season yet.
Yeah. So we followed that route up and decided to build a dam at the top. And here we're just figuring out how we're going to do this. There was a previous dam there that hadn't been working for something like 15 years. And it was far too small for the village anyway. So they're building trenches now for the pipe. That's for Banda Lake.
So that's the best tools that they have. They can use these tools and start carving the mountain. They will do it.
Yeah. So this couple, we ran into them at they donated $4,000 just because they wanted to help. And we were really surprised. So you saw the water tank for the village. There's the taps. We had, in that village, we did 50 taps, 9 kilometers of pipe. We did two dams from 2 different water sources. And the villagers, oh, I'm standing in your way, sorry.
No, you're good, no worries.
But the villagers, I've seen happy villagers before. I've seen happy villagers before, not this happy. They said, now we can build toilets, now we can make our homes permanent, because they had to keep moving to find water. Now they don't have to do that anymore. So, you know, we are just so thrilled to see that. And we're putting starting to put water filters in every classroom in every school. What a huge difference that makes. Typical family. Look at how many there are. 2, 4, 6, 7 of them in that family. So, and of course we gave out lots of toothpaste, toothbrushes, dental floss. What's the other thing?
Bracelets for the kids.
Yeah. Yeah. And you guys heard of Afro Soccer? If you're ever working in another country, they're right here. They're right in Whitby. Just call them up, tell them you need some uniforms. Although I bought those green ones. To send to, they have to be sent out of the country. They're used uniforms. And so if you're ever doing projects out there and they're looking for sport uniforms, Afro Soccer is fantastic. I got 7 bags for the next trip already. I don't know how I'm going to get the luggage. So this was just the big sign that we had built as a thank you. Look how they're cutting those things with a machete, with cement, with a machete. Can you imagine? It's got to be pretty sharp. So they're building toilets there. What we do for some of the families that are huge, and they're also housing orphans, we said, okay, we're going to build the toilet from the ground down. You build a hut around it. We need to get as much coverage for our funds as we can, so we want to do many families instead of just one. So if it's one family, we'll just build from the ground down with the ceramics and that sort of thing, and then they take care of the rest. So they were pretty thrilled to get that. This is how we transport materials any way we can. Could be by boat. These are window shutters. Through the muck. I mean, we'll do whatever it takes. I mean, it was a rough time. Oh, here's paint. Have you guys how many of you painted a room before? Most of you. Well, guess what? When you go on, when you put the paint on, it's the color you expect it to be, right? Here it goes translucent, so you don't know. You have to wait till it dries to see if you got it, right? So second 2 and 3 coats we had to do. This was done, that extra wing on that school was done in 6 weeks because of all the volunteers that came from other countries. They helped us out. We had a couple do, a French couple do a playground that you'll see shortly. These are the Israeli group. The lady on the right's from Port Hope. She runs the printing shop, so I get all my brochures done for free. This fellow's from Belgium. And he owns a print shop in Coburg. The two are married, the one from Port Hope and the one from Coburg. So.
It's called Basi, the celebration. They not only use it in Basi ceremony, not only use it in celebrate happiness, but also when someone passes away, that the similar ceremony. So the chanting and prayer is slightly different. If you are really sick, Basi ceremony, right?
For wedding, for babies, the death of the baby is all Basi. 8.1% infant mortality. So there's a lot of infants that pass away. So it's because of the hygiene. A lot of it's because of the hygiene, and so we're trying to attack that head on, trying to solve that problem. So this was still the school that we were working on. And it's amazing, these kids climb all the way down the riverbank, about 75 to 100 feet, to get these and bring them up to the school.
Before they only sit on 2 planks of bamboo,
Yeah.
just bamboo branches that have been cut in half. That is their sitting, and they squeeze.
That's not a typical class size. That's all 3 rooms. All the kids wanted to sit to take the picture, so they all squeezed in there. So we even sold the desks.
So sponsored by different donors, and they will get like the pictures with their names on it.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. But I tell you, this last year we have never been so fulfilled, so happy to be able to see the results of the work because of what you people do for us. You raise funds, you help us raise funds. And that money goes directly to the projects, all of it. We don't put any in our bank account, we don't put any in for our overheads, it all goes exactly to the projects where it was meant to go. So it's important that we do that. Now we do some of our own fundraisers to help pay for the overheads, but any donations we get go straight to the project. Typical exercise. They don't have gyms like we do. So this just gives you an example.
We met a French couple, young couple.
There's the.
One is designer, one is architect. So these are the people that you ran into sometimes, and they wanted to go to the rural area and help out. They went in first time in Laos, first time in the villages, and they stayed for a month. Now that is, your mindset got to be so ready for it. There's no warm water, there's no clean food, there's no hygiene, there's no toilet paper. Yeah. So
There's no toilet.
there's no toilet.
Yeah, look. Trying to Lao. They give us this very, very strong alcohol. We never refuse it because it kills the germs we just ate. When I take the Lao, I usually don't get sick, but this was the first year I got sick 3 times. So here's another couple. These are 2 of our directors from Adopt a Village in Laos, and they're also Rotarians. So there's nap time for the kids in one of the Finnish schools. I was negotiating on the inside, so I said, here's some balloons. Keep the kids happy, so they were doing okay. That's Zipa, my coordinator. That's his child. And it was one of these things that didn't wear protection. And so all of a sudden the child was born. Now, his girlfriend didn't tell him. And until the child was born, so let that be a lesson.
They are still using elephant to drag logging and stuff because there's no way to transfer the heavy duty equipment to the site. Early on you see the 2 kids in the field, that is when they will get hurt from the bombs.
Yeah, it's very typical because there are bombs everywhere. We only follow the paths that were there before us. I'm not straying off the path, it's just too dangerous. Even when they tell you that they've removed the bombs, that's not enough. They go back 3 or 4 times and find new ones. So, yeah, that's a Lao Hein. That's a Lao wine. It's awful stuff. It's very sweet, and there's so much bacteria in it, we don't dare have it. It's just, their systems can handle it, ours can't. We can't get used to that bacteria. So.
When Steve said the system can handle it, is you don't live very long. Huh? Men only live mid-50, ladies around late
50s,
late 50s,
54
early
for men,
60s.
56 for women. So I'd be dead. Mind you, this is the first room I've been in where I'd be the only one dead. Most Rotary groups, I could say half of us would be
I'm
dead.
on your heels, Steve.
So this is our typical transportation up to the river villages. Look how many steps there are. When you're carrying all this stuff, it's a lot. Look at this. They're trying to teach hygiene to the kids. So they're telling the little kids, don't go to the bathroom on the main road, go behind a bush, because they don't have toilets.
So those are the
All right, so
slides
that's it.
start off.
Yeah.
Any questions that you have in mind? Want to come with us? We do that every year.
At some point, we don't take our. Which leg?
No, yeah.
Oh, it's backwards. But we don't take our visitors to stay overnight in the villages unless they really, really want to, and we warn them to no end. You know what? Follow us when you're eating food. If we don't eat it, you don't eat it. Okay? We take food with us to the villages, even for day trips, so that we minimize the possibility of them getting sick, and it's worked well for us over the years. But Mike and I, we don't get the same opportunities. I don't know why I'm showing that.
So Mike, why do you have all of those
Braces.
pieces of
Cotton.
rope or bracelets? Why do you have all those bracelets? What do they mean?
You see the ceremony, the basi, when we all having our hands up, they do chanting and prayer. Now all these cotton string, they are part of the decoration on a huge platter, where they slaughter pig, buffalo, or chickens, depends how wealthy this village are. You know, and so after chanting and prayer, and they will all stand up and start picking all the string off the platter, and they will tie it on. Now, their belief is, you wear it for 3 days, and then you did not them, you don't cut them off. That would be bad luck. Huh? But I had been wearing them since 5 years ago,
They
5.5
just
years
won't
ago.
fall off, eh?
They fall off, you catch on something, and the really dirty one is the very old one. The one that looked relatively fresh is from this year.